As most of you may know by now, we are currently busy with a series of question and answer videos. So please, feel free to send us your credit lifecycle related questions or any question relating to our products or services. And as always, for those of you who do not know me yet, my name is Jager and I am the Head of Collections and Call Center Solutions at Principa. Today we are going to start a two-part series looking at the main requirements when considering a collection system. Even though different organizations has different requirements for collection system, when we look at the new dawn post-COVID-19, we believe that the following requirements will be crucial. In part 1, we are going to look at the main requirements from a user perspective when considering a collection system. Now, when we talk about a user, we talk about the collector or the operator that's actually using the front end of the system. Let's start. One of the most important parts of a collection system for a user is an easy-to-use web-based interface. Within collections, we utilize collections agents or operators, and in most instances, new call center employees are still very young of age and most of the times just out of school. Secondly, call center agents' attrition rates can be much higher than other industries, and as a result, the required systems training must be as little as possible as a direct result of the ease of use. Little to no free text requirements will streamline user capturing of actions and outcomes and reduce call time, as well as capturing inconsistencies. The utilization of role-based action parameters will not only make life easier for the user, but also set the company up towards making operational analytics possible in future. We will discuss analytical requirements in part 2 of this vlog. COVID-19 has also forced us to relook at our operations within the collections call center. And a lot of companies had to implement remote workstations at home for their collectors. Companies which uses collection systems with a web-based collector interface could transition to a work-from-home approach instantaneously. Some of these companies has even told me that they measured increased productivity with a work-from-home approach. So even though we refer to a system with a web-based interface, systems with mobile, both iOS and Android apps, will further provide field collections capability, especially in areas with limited data coverage. Collection system apps would generally be of a higher requirement to companies operating in Africa, as well as companies utilizing field collectors or tracers in South Africa. So, when we look at a collection system, one of the first requirements must be an easy-to-use system with a web-based interface for collectors. So, the next point, availability of information. Information is key to the success in collections and does not mean throwing all information at an agent or operator is the answer, but rather what information and how. First, we're going to look at summarized action information. When dealing with a debtor, often already frustrated as a result of your telephone call, the agent or operator needs to have a summary of all actions with the debtor without having to scroll through call logs and action entries. As an example, last time the debtor was contacted, the last time an arrangement was made, the last payment that were received, as well as the amount, and the last communication that was sent. If all of this information is available in a summarized format, it will greatly empower the collector. So summarized information will assist the agent or operator within the first few seconds of a telephone call, and we all know the importance of that first few seconds within a telephone call, to set the realization with the debtor that the agent has a sound knowledge of the account history and that delaying tactics will not work. Summarized information therefore set the conversation in favor of the agent or operator. B. the ability to search for specific actions and transactions. The debtor will know by this time that the agent or operator knows when last communications and actions were taken, but may still refer to specific historical actions and transactions. If the agent or operator has access to the full transactional and action history, he or she will again enforce his knowledge of the debtor's account. These transactions and actions must, however, be accessible easily without wasting precious time or requiring additional system access. By this time, the debtor will have realized that the agent or operator has a sound knowledge of his account and will start to work towards a resolution instead of a delay. C. Full account information. As important as action and transaction information is account information. Is the credit card, personal loan, vehicle loan? If an asset is linked to the account, a description of the asset is the 2018 silver BMW 320i. When was the account opened? What was the original loan amount? What is the interest rate on the account? What is the current account delinquency? What is the initial contract term? What is remaining? And so on. The more information available to the user increases dominance during a call. There is nothing more powerful than having agents or operators who can answer all the debtor's questions during a telephone call or a digital engagement. If ever an agent or operator uses the dreaded "I will find out and call you back" approach, you have lost dominance in the negotiations process. D. Debtor information and historical information. We have now empowered the agent or operator with all information relating to the account. Now we also need to provide the debtor personal information, telephone numbers, addresses, employers, etc., as well as all people linked to the debtor, a spouse, a friend, a work colleague, and historically changed information like the cell number were historically 083 665 4545 and currently confirmed as 076 566 5454. These details are not only important to collectors, but also to internal tracing agents utilizing the system. And E. A 360-degree view of the debtor or customer. When we deal with a specific matter linked to a debtor, the collection system must also provide us with a view of any other account which the debtor may have, as well as the ability to access and log actions against all the debtor's accounts. There is nothing more frustrating to a debtor than being called for each account or not being able to be assisted by one agent or operator on all of his accounts. Duplication of effort can be greatly reduced if we can deal with multiple accounts in one single conversation. So when we look at these user requirements from a collection system, in number 3 we look at multiple language capability. Now this requirement depends on where companies are based, as well as predominant language of choice. With recent engagements in the Middle East, we found that users are forced to use a system in English, even though English is spoken in a very limited number of cases. Software which cater for multi-language can assist agents or operators in being more efficient when they interact with a system in their home language. Some software even make provision for preferred user language, where John, being English, work an English interface, and Patrick, being Zulu, works on a Zulu interface. Now John and Patrick could even be sitting right next to each other and work off the same system, but in their preferred language. Multi-language also refer to system capabilities of sending communication, emails, SMSs, etc., to debtors in the debtor's preferred language. We all know that dealing with a debtor in his or her preferred language will improve the possibilities of a successful telephone outcome. In number 4 of the requirements, live tracking of KPIs. Now, one of the most important aspects of an agent or operator is to know his daily performance throughout the day. If an agent or operator cannot track his performance, he cannot change the outcome. There are too many companies which provide KPI performance retrospectively when the day is done. An agent cannot change something that has already happened. But if KPI performance are provided proactively, the agent or operator can still change the outcome of that day. And the last, 5, self-service service desk. We know the importance of self-service, and especially of automated self-service. But we also need to acknowledge the importance of an agent or operator having the capability to send a debtor an SMS or email with a digital service link whereby the debtor can digitally engage with the operator instead of the voice call. We found that debtors often reply that they cannot talk at the moment, but can they engage to the same operator in a digital way at this moment? Could it be that the digital engagement is the debtor's preferred way of communication? We know from research that up to 70% of customers prefer digital communication. Do we as organizations align ourselves to our customers' preferences, or do we keep doing the same thing and expect different outcomes? So, to close off, it is important to realize that a system alone is not the complete answer. Training agents and operators in the art of engaging and negotiations is where the real value lies. A good system only enables them to execute what they have learned within a time-sensitive environment. But the art of negotiation will make them successful. Now, when we look at negotiation quickly, negotiation is a common activity in our daily lives. It's human nature to try to influence others to achieve a better or advantageous outcome for ourselves. It's ultimately an exchange of value, and if done well, it can leave both sides feeling like they've won. In collections and recoveries, negotiation is a critical tactic used in every engagement with a debtor. In fact, it's so critical and core to the success of a collections organization that it merits a discussion with the ultimate negotiator to see if there are tips and techniques that can be learned and applied in collections. With this objective in mind, I contacted a former hostage negotiator from the South African Police Service and had the pleasure of spending the morning with him. You can read more on this topic in our previous blogs, so please go to our website www.principa.co.za and visit our past blogs. Now in part 2, we will be looking at the main requirements from a business perspective and deal with strategy design, third-party system integration, digital self-service capability, and several other key aspects. So please subscribe to this channel and keep a lookout for part 2. And as always, keep safe, stay safe, and see you soon.